Okay.
Anyways,
I'm looking at it.
so this is a random thought I just had. It's not even, I don't know if it's a joke or it's real, but the main insight I talked about the whole Purim was like what is that existential war of Klal Yisrael against Amalek? What makes Amalek different? I don't want to give a whole Purim shit now, but like Purim is called Pur, right? I feel like we did the Purim.
We did, yeah.
Purim the Goyim.
Yeah.
Good. So we have a background. Purim is randomness. Lashon in the Torah that Amalek uses to attack it is Asher Korcha Vaderech. That was the Lashon, right? Mikra. That Amalek, what's the Lashon? It's a very weird word for a war. They happened upon you. It's like Mikra. Mikra means what? How are you trying to say Mikra?
Happenstance.
It's random. Little like a pur. It's you have to know the difference between a pur and a mikra. Mikra, it's interesting, but two different types of random. Like that's the sugi in Vayikra, next week's parsha. Right, Vayakar, why the small aleph in Vayikra is the difference between Vayikra and Vayakar. You familiar? Remember, you know that Torah? Right, the aleph in Vayikra is small. That Bilam, the Lashon by Bilam, the Nevu is Vayakar, that Hashem happened to Bilam. And by Moshe it's Vayikra. And those are two opposite things. Mikra is random, and Vayikra is, he calls this a calling. What does a calling mean? Right? The calling is, this is my calling. It's like a hasmana. It's like, this is what I was meant for. It's the of Vayikra and Vayakar are literally polar opposite words. One means totally random, and one means total definitive of my purpose, right? And in the Megillah, that's what's the final success? La Yehudim ha'yita oira v'simcha v'sasayin v'yikar, yakar and mikra. Right? Yakar means what? Mikra means random, and yakar means what? It means
Targeted.
Why targeted?
I mean, doctrine.
It means valuable. Yakar means meaning. Yakar means precious. So precious. It's such a good opposite. I mean, I guess you could say a lot of meanings are opposites. Target, I hear a lot of opposites of random. But there's definitely one meaning of random that precious is the opposite. Right? You could hear that. Right? It's like a deep.
Well,
it's a very.
precious is the opposite of random?
I think a lot, depending on how you see the word random, it could be a lot of things. But it's a very powerful. There's definitely an understanding of the word random that precious is the best opposite. Right? You know my word of whatever. You heard me say so. Whatever is mikra. Whatever means what's the opposite of whatever? Precious. Right? Precious. That's easier to hear. But the same way you hear that precious is the opposite of whatever, precious is also is the opposite of. So the way I was talking about a Purim was that why are Klal Yisrael and Amalek opposites? Because they're both coming to solve the same problem that humanity has. The problem of life is the difficulty of life. That life is hard. That it's challenging, and that so now everybody has she'ifas and ritzonos, and it's hard. So the world is not cooperating necessarily. So what is the cure for that? So Amalek's cure is stop already with these narishkai dreams and meaning and purpose. It's all random. It means nothing. That's an amazing cure for the drama of life. Right? That's the cure. Right? If you're feeling torn, like dreams, and I'm terrified, I'm scared, I want to do it, what do I do? And should I try again? Should I give up? So the argument that stop it, it's all in your head, you weirdo, making up fake, there's no purpose to meaning, it's all an accident, it's just chaos. It's just an accident. So that literally liberates you from all of your angst. Right? That's Amalek. That is Amalek's.
So you don't worry about it because it's random anyways?
Yeah, that's their cure for humanity. That's their program for the world. Like they're.
But you are worried.
In a way,
It's
we're saying that.
random.
In a way, you could say that they're not. It's not like evil in the way we think of evil. They're trying to help the world. What's their program for the difficulties of life? Is just
Everything's random, so then you have very good reason to be worried.
Right, that's
You
not
can just get hit by a car when you're crossing the street. There's no dim, there's no chasm, there's no nothing. That's the biggest thing to be worried
There's no
about.
aspirations, so if you
yeah, but I understand, but yeah, so that's true. That's
He's saying the worry doesn't help because it's random.
no, but that kind of worry, that kind of thing, we're not talking about that. That's
You
a
can't
fact.
fail on your own, basically.
It's the tsar of the existential feeling of what am I doing with my life? When you wake up and you're like you're married already, but a bacher wakes up every couple of years and goes like, oh my god, like you have that like it hits you for 2 seconds and Baruch Hashem it passes. But for 2 seconds it hits you like or like you went out on a long parasha and it's over, right? Like that ever happened to somebody? So like
Just the little partial part?
what? No, and you end the long parasha, now you're back to the drawing board, like what am I doing? Gotta start all over again. Like that feeling, that fear, that panic that kicks in for a second. Like what am I doing? Like I was so close, I'm gonna start again. These are all the things that come with life. It's so much easier if you say like marriage. Like marriage is like who made up marriage? It's some gimmick. It was made up by diamond manufacturers. They made it. What? It's like my marriage counselors made it up. Your therapist created marriage. Like it's not real. Like that. So that's Amalek's an amazing cure. What's Klal Yisrael's argument? Now listen, every nation has their own way of dealing with that struggle. But the two extremes are Klal Yisrael and Amalek. Amalek says it's all narishkeit. And Klal Yisrael says what? What do we say? We say yakar. We raise the stakes. We put a spotlight. Because we're telling you we're going to light your fire. Yes, it's easier to cop out. But let's just remind ourselves how this is why Hashem, maybe one of the reasons why Hashem made girls beautiful. You marry a girl, it's a lot of pressure. But she's beautiful. That's the whole princess trip. They never had an ugly, overweight princess in any Disney movie. No one's because I'm not saying she can't have a good meal. What?
So how do the guys that marry the ugly girls have
What? No, there's something about beauty. There's something about it's just like jewels. What are jewels? They're flawless. There's something that lights your fire. So, and it's just, but that's trippy. That it's the same word. Mikra and yakar. And it's the same word. And the Torah already stelled on that in Vayikra and Vayakar in Nevuah. Hashem calls to Moshe, and he happens to Bilam. So this is a huge thing to think about. That is the story. The Nitzachon over Amalek is Yakar over Mikra. Yakar mipninim, right? So, but there's two types of kar. There's holy kar. So, So I was just thinking, Tucker, Carlson is both cars.
Why both?
His first and last name.
His first and last name is both car. So like he's like on his whole what is it? Like he got it. He used to get it. See, no one gets it like Amalek. Amalek does get it. You don't come up with Amalek's Eitzah. You don't get so invested. You don't become the fighter for Mikra. You don't become the fighter for Mikra unless you mamish feel somebody with a very slow voice of she'ifis and dreams doesn't need to fight for randomness. It's a guy who hears it, who gets it. The guy who really gets the truth. He's the guy who has to double, triple down on silencing those dreams and silencing that. So Tucker is like he was the guy fighting Amalek. Like Amalek. What's Amalek's tool? What's Amalek's tool? They're leitzonas. They make a joke out of everything, and that was Tucker's whole koyach was. And that I loved him. My son hated him. I had a big argument with Sandy. My son's very, very tahor and kaddish and pure. And looking back now, it's a vote for purity and Tara. Because I like Tucker because I remember having this argument with him. He said I hate Tucker because my son's a big right winger. Like he's a yeshiva kid. Back in the day, he liked him. I loved him because he said his laugh is so fake.
Yeah, his voice is a little bit annoying.
But the whole fakeness that it was, he would demean people, and what was my argument? Yeah, but he's our Russia. He's our guy. Like he's doing to them. This is what the left does.
Right.
They make a joke at everybody. So we had someone doing it back to them. That's what he was. He was the guy who got it. It's like I told you my title I want to write on my book on atheism. I want to write a book on how to respond to an atheist, but you have to chap how atheists work. You chap how you know atheists. The atheists they're so patronizing and sanctimonious and like condescending. That's right, they're condescending. They go, "I'm so happy you have a God. It's very good, very important that you should have something to believe in because life is hard. So it's good that you have a crutch." Like that's what I would say. I talk like that. That kind of like I'm the daddy. So the trick, and that's so emasculating when they talk like that. So the trick on an atheist, what I chapped, is that you have to out condescend them. You have to use because what happens is religious people get all angry, and the atheist is always calm and they go like, "Why are you so angry? Like you're supposed to be the spiritual one. Like how come?" They play with religious people, and the religious people I talk to are always simple, So when I fight with these leftists, so I know how to do it. I out condescend them. So like their line is always whenever I would say something, that the left has one gimmick that's shaming you. Like so when you say something that they go like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that," in college. So I would double down. That was my thing. Everybody goes in reverse. That's what you do. Everyone starts apologizing. "I'm sorry." You have to know you can't blink. So I would go like, Oh, I forgot. I'm in a state school. I'll say it slower. And I would say it slow and louder. Like I'm talking to a 2-year-old, right? And they don't know how to deal with that because you just double down and you insult them. A state school, are you DEI? You should have told me you were DEI. Is that the word? Or I forgot the word already. No, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Whatever it is, you play with them, and then they double down, and they go, "It's the most horrifying thing I've ever said." I said, "You think?" I
got more than
ever. This is what everybody in my world, like every successful person, this is what we all think. Just people have pity on you and they don't tell you. I'm just a little cruel. I'm sorry. I maybe I overestimated your ability to endure things. You want
this information,
right? I didn't think you. I thought, okay, you came across a little tougher. Whatever it is that you play with them. My title of my atheism book is it's called "So You're an Atheist? How Cute." That's the title, and the subtitle is the title is "So You're an Atheist? How Cute? A step-by-step guide to surviving this adorable stage." That's what it's called. You understand this Mamish being Masaris, the guy? You hear that's the Mahalach. You just need to hear the title to know the Mahalach that now you can take that and you can do it yourself. You have to know the Mahalach. What?
When's the book coming out? We have to actually print it.
Everybody would buy it just from the title, no?
It's printed. There's hundreds of books in the making.
Yeah. So
I know like 20 titles.
So You're an Atheist, How Cute? A step-by-step guide to surviving this adorable stage. If Mamish takes away the whole thing is I'm like a heavyweight, serious person, and you're making him into a disease guy. The first thing someone says they're an atheist is you give them a knip. Ooh, yummy. Or you pat him on the head. Little.
That's the most demeaning.
That's the game. That is what you do. And, okay, whatever. I have other things I used to do. This is all I'm like a softer, gentler person now. I'm just telling you my glory days. This is what I used to do when I was still
Yeah, but
Coming back, I left my tie open. I used to have my tie open those days. The last 10 years I closed it. This was part of my persona for many years. Was that open tie rabbi? You get the whole. It was like this irreverent. This was my gimmick. I don't do it anymore, but I realized that the tie
you do it for us,
it brought back my old.
So you're doing it on us.
Anyways, but let's go back to this car. So mikra and car is the same idea.
The Zoom class after.
Well, to the mikra and car. So my son couldn't deal. He hated that Tucker was so fake, and I loved that he was fake. I felt like he was doing what I do. He chapped. So he does chap. You have to understand, he really chaps. But when a person really chaps, so the line between crossing over and becoming a molik is it's so easy. Because what separates Klal Yisrael from a molik? They both recognize that it's yakar. Mikra is a response to yakar. You see, if you don't believe it's so valuable, then you don't need to silence it. It's dafka the people who chap how valuable it is. So what's the variable that changes? What's the variable? What makes someone cross over? If you believe it's valuable. The variable is something that you did that makes you believe that it's not shaykh to you. That's what has to happen.
So what happened?
You lose your what?
So you got fired. That's what.
It could be he got fired. He thought he was the
He's
king of
still
the
on
world.
right, though.
What?
He's still on the right.
It's not. It's a different
different
kind of
right.
but that's not the right. See again. That's an important shmooze. People think the way people define right and left
That's too.
is the right and left really is yakar versus mikar. That's really what it is.
Why?
Because that's what is the left fighting against. Don't
We had the
fall for the old-fashioned political way of defining these things. You know, political theory. It's the right believes in values and purpose and family, and the left is saying that every value has its own narishkeit. They're against nationalism. They're against flags. Any single thing that you think is
So
yakar.
now Tucker's a leftist.
It's not. The word is slowly getting. They call it woke. They use the same word, but they're calling it woke right, woke left. No, it's just woke. It's. But you hear the aside. It's if you think about what the left is. What is the left? The left is saying it's not yakar, it's mikra, and they have to shame anyone who says yakar. So Tucker was the guy laughing at them, and now he became the joke. But now he became that guy. He became real. It's interesting. So it needs to be worked on. But that's his name. His name is Karakar. Tucker, you know. But I'm going to say one other thing. I'm not usually into these mystical things, but if you look at the word Yisrael and Amalek, the whole end. See, Amalek is called. What's the meaning of the word Amalek? The shirish is Malika, or Malak is Reshai. Malak, a nation of Malika. What's Malika?
pop off the head.
What?
Pop off the head.
How?
Your
The Kohen Gadol had a long thumbnail, and certain birds, like he didn't take out his whole sword, his whole knife. He would hold the bird from behind and use his fingernail to detach the head from the back. That's called Malika. You familiar with Malika? So, what does that symbolize to you? What do you hear Malika is? What's that spot over there? This is the spot that defines Klal Yisrael. That is the spot. What's that spot? That's where the kesher of the tefillin sits, in the spot of the Malika. That is what is that spot? That's the spot where your brain touches your spine. It's the spot where thought, where ideas affects your life. It is where my calling, my hashkafa, my ideas, I come out fired up. Where yakar translates into what is the disconnection? Is that stop it? Your actions should have no connection to ideas. It's all random. That's
So
what
Mo
mikra
is
is.
but you think you're not even into ideas.
What?
they're not even into ideas. though.
Ideas are cool, but they're no bearing on reality.
But it's an ideological war. It's not just like a physical.
One ideology is ideology.
That what?
I mean, they're against the machshava also. They're not just against the mindset.
I don't know if they're against the machshava.
The whole thing
They're
is
saying
Nicaragua
it's not
just
real.
what happens.
Like Germany is the best example of Amalek.
Why?
Because they're the most sophisticated people in the world ideologically.
Right.
Like they write poetry and they're deep, but their actions are totally not connected to their thoughts. It has no bearing on their reality. That's Malika. That's literally Malika. Malika is Germany. It's the ability that your thoughts and your actions are not connected. And which is, but you're asking the question that I think that's what I'm saying, that the guy who makes the Malika, he's the guy who gets it. You don't become the Malika guy unless you mamish understand.
He's like playing with a knife. This guy got a gun on him.
Very wild.
Feels very terrible right now.
It's like
Talk about a mullet when he wakes
that's
up.
right.
All the firearms come out.
It's crazy. So you still listen. So this is the Malika. This is the Malika. So I show you. And that's a kesher film. Our job is to connect it to. So that's the remez I wanted to give you was that the Klal Yisrael and Amalek both chap the value of the universe. They end it, but it ends off in two different ways. We both Amalek. I'm saying Tucker gets it. He gets it amazingly. Let's gets it also.
You mean he gets what we're doing?
He gets the truth. He understands the war of the left against meaning and purpose. He got it. He knows that they're just trying to shame us. That's why he would laugh at them. He was playing my game, my condescending, patronizing game. It means he owns it. That means he understands it perfectly. But the guy who gets it is the guy who needs, if he doesn't believe that he could achieve it, so then he has to become the Malika. He has to become, and our point is Yakar means is the Kesher film, is what defines us, is that connect your thoughts and your actions. And he's saying disconnect. Ran Yakar or Mikra. So now if you look, Amalek and Klal and Yisrael end off with a kuf and a lamed. The kuf and the lamed, look at picture of two words. They're both a reish with a line, right? Which is the thought, reish is the head, the reish is the head, and the line is the actions that come out of your thoughts. What's the difference? There's two differences between a lamed and a kuf. These are the two oisias that go above or below the line in Hebrew, right? Regular letters that go above the below letter, reish and a kuf, lamed and a kuf. What's the difference between a lamed and a kuf? Two differences.
One goes up, one goes down.
One goes up, one goes down. What's the whole difference?
Straight up.
What?
Severed.
One is severed and one's connected. So what does that mean? The one that's connected to the reish goes up. And when the one that's disconnected, the actions are disconnected from the head, it goes down. That's the Malika. That's the kuf versus the lamed. That's Amalek. The best way to visualize a difference on Amalek and Klal Yisrael is a lamed versus a kuf. Anyways, so just it was something to think about. This car, the Tucker car. If the
Candace also, where is she?
That's for next week.
no, Candace is not the same. Candace is a different. So yeah, you can't say certain things. You can only talk about white people on tape. It can ruin your life if you say anything about someone who's not white.